Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode was brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. Listeners should know that this podcast episode will include mature scenes and mature themes. This podcast episode uses the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game rules written by Matt Forbeck. All content, including names, places, companies, and etc., which may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. And now, on to our show.
Thank you once again for joining us on the Old Ways podcast. I am your narrator James, and tonight we will be listening in on issue 3 of the Marvel Multiverse adventure that we have called Anger Management. Tonight, opposing me, not literally, or not figuratively, but literally, is, well, I'll let him introduce himself.
Yes, this is Alex playing Santos Rodriguez, the bearer and wearer of the Armadura de Aguila.
As our listeners will remember, when we began this little sojourn, our quartet found themselves in an interesting situation that I'm sure none of them ever thought they would be in. And that is in sitting on uncomfortable folding metal chairs in a large dark room with a light overhead. And there are 4 people and 1 man in a tie holding a clipboard and writing notes. That man, adjusts his spectacles, looks at you, Santos. Says, well, that was certainly an interesting story told to us by Miss Blaze, but Mr. Santos, please continue with your part of how you got here. I'd like to hear more about that evening.
Well, I don't really know what more there is to say. It's no good, and I saw to it that they can't do it again.
Santos, you find yourself standing in this parking lot. You're more towards the edge now as you have drug a couple of these guys off to the side. Finding them messing with cars is one thing, but to find their unconscious bodies laying amongst the parked cars would be almost as bad. So you, we'll say courteously, slide their bodies off to the side and drop them off. These are fairly nondescript gentlemen. All of them looks to be white, average haircuts, nothing that would stand out. Clothing looks to be, you won't say shabby, you'll say almost looks like it was purchased at a garage sale. Some of it even ill-fitting.
I think I'll take the time to kind of pack them all into a stairwell.
Excellent. Do you zip tie them in place and such, I assume?
No, I don't have zip ties. I can just stack them on top of each other.
Okay.
If one starts moaning, I punch him in the face.
Fair enough. All right, well, 2 rousing second helpings of knuckle sandwich later, these gentlemen, you've managed to collect 3 of them, are in the stairwell and now stacked and unconscious, bleeding on each other a little bit, but nothing, you don't think anything mortal.
They're lucky. I will take a deep breath, will the gauntlets back into their bracelets where they belong, as the danger has passed and transgressions have been addressed for now.
Okay. Takes you a moment to reach into that inner space and find that calmness that it takes to get the claws to retract. It's not like they're resisting you per se. It's just like a pet that is reluctantly going and laying down in its bed.
I know what you're thinking. What are these guys doing here? What do they have in common? Fine. We'll begin the hunt. I will grab one of them and shake him down.
Okay.
And see if I can find any identifying items or anything that would lead me to get a better understanding as to... Because these guys all seem cut from the same cloth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're in like a gang or if they have tattoos or any sort of indication of where they might hang out. Oh, I will definitely relieve them of their cell phones.
Oh, absolutely.
That's a big one for me.
Definitely relieve them of their cell phones, and you pat them down. Their wallets contain cash, $500 to $600 each.
Nice.
Their pockets contain keys, no identifying marks as to where those keys go to, whether it's a vehicle or a house. And you also notice that the wallets contain no other identification other than a white card with a blue R on it, like a security card.
Okay. I will definitely take the card If it's like a key card for sure.
Yeah.
And if there's no way to really tell how I think they got here, if any of them have like a key fob or anything like that, I might hit it to see if anything beeps.
One of them does, and you hear maybe half a block away, you hear a distant...
All right, I take the key fob.
All right.
When I leave the garage, I'm actually going to take the $1,500 or so that they were kind enough to donate, put a nice little dent, the union fund.
Fantastic.
Just kind of slide it into the tub.
All right. Excellent.
And I will let the organizers know, hey, look, I'm actually pretty tired. I got a lot of things to study for. I'm going to head out tonight, but you all good luck with everything. Let me know how it takes. And if we need to do any revisions on the speeches, you know where to find me.
A young man named Marcos steps over onto the side. You know, you won't say like your number 2, but you definitely say that you see his face more often than you see almost anyone else around here. His work ethic extends well down into his heart, so to speak. He's here to help everyone. He's like, hey, are you feeling all right, man?
Of course. Why? Why? Is everything okay?
No, I'm fine. I'm just you, man. I want to make sure that you're cool. You don't usually leave this early.
Like I said, it's been a long week. Professor's up my ass. Dad's up my ass. There's only so much room up my ass, you know?
Yeah, it sounds like it's a pretty full boat in there already.
Yeah. So I'm going to go unboat my ass. I kind of clap him on the shoulder.
You take care of that thing then.
You got my number. Hit me up if... question.
Yeah.
You wouldn't happen to know... I found one of these outside. I'll show him the card. You would happen to know what this logo is, do you? This looks official.
Hang on. He pulls out his phone, scans the card with his phone's camera. Says it's a Roxxon logo, but not like one that they use on like corporate packaging.
Right on. Well, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Keep that between us. I'll see that it gets returned on my own.
Yeah, not a problem. He kind of gives you a little bit of an odd look, and he's like, all right, yeah, not a problem, man. Just call me if you need anything.
And keep an eye. I saw some ne'er-do-wells walking around outside across the street, so you might want to keep a couple eyes out.
Maybe it's I don't want to say I believe in this kind of stuff, but maybe it's a full moon.
Is it a full moon?
Just be careful. Apparently there's all sorts of weird stuff going on all over town.
You know, it might be one of those nights.
I'm going to keep the people that are here safe then. You know, make sure everybody's cool. You take care of yourself. And we will see you next time next time we're together, man.
Yeah, I give him kind of like a one-arm hug. And when I get close to his ear, I say, there's a crowbar under the table.
He chuckles a little bit. Thanks. He turns back around to the people that have kind of sort of gathered. And he's like, all right, so let's talk about the posters now. And he starts moving back towards like an assembly line group of people that are making posters currently. Various large font that's legible.
Yeah, I give everybody else a wave and I just kind of stroll out. Stuff a key into my pocket.
You get back outside into the night where a nice cool air hits you again. You feel your heart rate drop just a little more. It's nice because, you know, you still haven't quite worked off the slight workout you got earlier.
Yes.
Did you drive or are you going to walk home? How are you going to
go? I walk. So I'm not sure if we're near the university, I'm not sure where the nearest kind of Roxxon official building would be.
Downtown.
Okay. How far is that?
About 2 miles, about 7 minutes by car. By foot, you're looking at about half an hour. What normal walking speed.
I look up at the sky.
Mm-hmm. The skies tonight, although it's chilly, are only semi-overcast, and the wind is not terrible.
I hear you. I will head down to the end of the block and then kind of move into an alley.
Okay. As you move into the alley, you begin using more of a stealth technique to move, I assume.
I'm not going to be here long, just long enough to say, okay, I promised you will hunt. These bastards are up to no good. Show me what you got.
There's a loud metal sound as all of the pointy parts of you come out at the same time. Disorienting, even though you have grown used to it, it's still momentarily disorienting to go from your normal human, though heightened vision, to the vision through the eyes of the eagle. You feel the power hum down your arms and through your fingertips. That never gets old. You drag them along a concrete abutment and it digs grooves into it effortlessly. You feel the wings of the suit unfold but not unfurl.
So what I'll do is I'll get a bit of a running start and then jump to the wall of the alley and start clawing my way up the building. And once I get to the top ledge, I'll plant my feet and let out a nice long screech before unfurling the wings to their full length and then jumping into the air with like every bit of might that he has.
Excellent. Your first few footsteps on the pavement absorb enough kinetic energy to jumpstart the reactor for the wings. It kicks on soundlessly, but you feel the power extend through the wings as you leap to the side and dig your claws into the side of the building you leap to. A building, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. You emit the ear-piercing shriek that has come to chill the blood of many of the not-so-great people in this part of town. You scan part of the horizon that you can see. The night is definitely alive. People all over the place, and from up here, you can see movement that most people couldn't, of course, with the acuity and the distance that you can see. What kind of crime are you looking for? What kind of hunt are you giving it?
So the first thing I'm going to do is head in the direction that I know the Roxxon building is in.
Okay.
The Aguila suit has flight 2, which I think is 50 times.
Okay.
Flight speed out of combat.
So that would be more like driving speed.
Yeah, I'm not sure how fast it is necessarily, but if my flight is 18, so 50 times 18 is my speed. It's 122.73 miles per hour.
So at 122, you get there in about 2 minutes. If you go directly there.
Yeah, I'll beeline there, and then as I approach, I'll definitely come down a bit and slow way down and go into a bit of like a soar, so I can get a bead on. The only other thing I would have checked was I would have checked on what type of vehicle I would have checked on what kind of vehicle the key fob responded to, like whether it was some sort of standard vehicle or whether it was like a civilian vehicle or branded or what have you.
Looked like it was a black SUV with no plates and a scrubbed VIN number. All right. You fly in the direction of the Roxxon HQ that is in downtown Chicago. You take to the skies. They are darkened, obviously, with the evening, and the air up here is even chillier than the air was down there. Up here in the clouds and up here in amongst the air currents, you feel more free than you do down there on the ground, where everything's hedging you in. Flying has become one of your, I wouldn't say pastimes because you don't do it very often for fun, but the moments or two that you're up in the air is glorious. And then as quick as it started, you see the Roxxon with the large blue R on the side of the building.
Yeah, I go into a glide.
Okay.
So as to remain silent against the night sky.
Easily done. Just the whistling of the wind as it sails by you.
Curious. You said it's nighttime, right? So
Yep, nighttime.
This is an office building. There's probably not a whole lot going on.
No, not so much.
Then I'll go to the roof. I imagine, if it's a Roxxon building, I'm imagining there's like a full-blown helicopter pad and all that other stuff up there.
Yes, there is as you soar in, you see the large white H on the roof and the blinking lights and everything. There is thankfully no chopper here at the moment, but yes, there is a helipad up here.
I will also look for cameras and motion sensors and whatnot.
Your suit zeroes in on 2. There is a security camera above the door, and it looks like there's a motion sensor on the ground on the other side of the helipad.
What I think I'm going to do from here, I'm going to try to come in on the opposite side of the door and the helipad, like up and over the edge of the building.
Okay.
Basically, an approach that a person on foot could not take.
Right.
And I will try to perch on top of the structure that the door is up.
Oh, okay.
Basically, like behind the motion sensor.
You land effortlessly. After just a moment or two of pausing to listen and hear nothing, your suit alerts you to no dangers.
I will gently reach a taloned hand over to where the camera is, and I'm just going to kind of create a bit of a scissor motion and snip it out of position.
Okay. Is it still active and it's just pointing the wrong way, or is it no longer functional?
That's entirely, depending on where I hit it. If I hit it on the support, I'm imagining it'll be pointed somewhere erratically.
All right. High or low?
We'll say low.
All right. All right. It is, in fact, pointed erratically. It's pointing like off towards like a useless part of the roof and mostly just Chicago skyline.
In my crouch, I will dig the foot talons into the concrete here and just kind of lean over the door and see if there's a keypad down there. Or just like a regular lock.
Okay. You lean over the door, look down, and you do see that there is a small silver keypad. Looks like it has a card swipe and 12 buttons, like a phone.
What are the chances? I will attempt to swipe this card.
You lean down and swipe the card.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Boop, boop. And it turns green.
So I will attempt to quell the eagle's elation.
Oh, yes. You feel that inner scream.
This is only a test. Calm down. The hunt hasn't begun yet.
It was bad enough when these asshats were just random asshats messing with your people. But you feel your blood course in your temples and presses against the parts of your suit. You can feel that the suit responds to your elevated heart rate.
Okay, fine. We can take a look. I will duck in.
All right. You duck in. The chroma of your suit shifts to a darker hue. Doesn't exactly blend in, but does make you slightly less noticeable. I will give you edge on any being spotted rolls.
Okay.
You head down into this building proper. This first floor seems to be mostly just receiving from the helipad and any shipping that would go out that way, short-term shipping. As you poke your head around a little, there's a security desk. And it looks like maybe one very bored-looking guard on duty.
So from this corner, if I kind of like get on all fours and kind of creepy crawl, can I create a straight line from me to that person?
Yes, you could.
I mean, even if it includes going over the desk, that's fine.
Oh, yeah. You totally could.
All right, I'm going to creep a little bit, and then I'm going to let the eagle loose like a coiled spring, and I'm going to pounce on the security guard.
Okay.
Like I'm going to dive at them and grab him by the shoulders and attempt to pin him to the ground with my beak in his face.
All right. I'm going to need you to make me that just sounds like a good old-fashioned melee attack roll, doesn't it?
It really does.
First, before you do, I'm going to make sure that he doesn't notice you as you're crawling across the floor.
Yeah, go ahead.
He does not.
This is a melee check against defense.
Yes.
If they succeed, they grab the target. On a fantastic, they're pinned.
Yes.
You ready? Ready for the goods?
Yep.
All right, we'll see how this goes. 16 on the roll. It's 30 damage if I were damaging him, but I'm pinning him.
The 16 is more than sufficient to pin.
Okay.
So less like an eagle and more like a panther. You spring from the ground, leap across the desk, and you land. And as you land, a small voice in your head says, "It's a dark panther?" No, that's dumb. An eagle is far superior. And
Panthers can't fly.
Panthers can't fly. And as you raise your hand to knock this guard out, you have him pinned to the floor with one arm very easily. You are much stronger than him. Are you going to knock him out?
No, we're going to have a chat.
Oh, all right.
I keep one hand on his collarbone with just like the tips digging in. The other hand will be raised in like a menacing claw. And I will speak to him through the bird beak.
His breath is very halted and shaky, and he's already developed a thick sheen of flob sweat.
Are you second-guessing your career choices?
Hey, man, I get paid minimum wage to do this, man. I just checked the door.
3 men, similar builds, similar haircuts, carrying this card. I'll show him the card.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. That's,
Black SUV, unmarked. Who are they? You get one chance to answer.
Oh. Do you want to make an ego attack on him?
Sure.
To assure truth?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how badly you dominate him.
Okay. That is a 13.
Okay. He looks for a second. There's like some screwed up sense of loyalty. And then he realizes that that's really dumb because there are 5 razor sharp needles on a man's hand, not a foot from his face. Those are security override cards. Those can get into any Roxxon facility. Those are usually only handed out to some of the the more higher ups or like task force people.
Task force, you say? I will indicate to him what these clouds are capable of. Without really moving, I'm going to reach behind me and casually slice his desk in half.
You feel something wet trickle past your leg.
If I could smile, I would.
The mask doesn't like smiling.
No.
Yeah, like the guys that I hear about that work for Roxxon that do all the weird shit, they get cards like that.
Who gives them the orders?
I don't know, man. The higher ups, the people in the big chairs, the people who get paid a lot more than I do.
I look at his name tag. What's his name tag say?
B. Hanks.
All right, Hanks. It's your lucky day, as I'm a fan of the proletariat. You're fired.
All right. You know what? I quit.
I will stand up and retract the claws, and I will offer him my left hand. I keep the right hand poised.
Right.
I offer him the left hand.
He takes it and then very gently takes his badge off and the ridiculous pseudo badge that he has the clip thing and puts it on the desk, pulls a taser off of his belt and puts it on the desk. Last, he pulls a radio out. Hey, Tim? Hey, listen, I've been thinking and I quit, man. Fuck this job. I'm out. And he then releases the button on the walkie-talkie and puts it on the desk and puts his hands up, gives you this pained smile like, there, I did that. Please don't kill me.
Are there cameras watching this floor?
Oh, yeah, there's cameras all over the place, man. This is Roxxon. They got cameras on their cameras, dude.
Show me. And you can go.
Fuck it. I don't work here anymore. He turns and points at one of the systems and he taps a fairly mid-90s computer setup, taps a few keys, brings up a whole array of different cameras from around the building. There's a bewildering amount of information coming in through these screens. All you have to do is you can tap a screen.
You can go, Hanks.
Oh yeah, I'm going to hit the snack bar on the way out because they still think I work here. And then I am out. Hey, thanks, Scary Birdman, for not killing me because this place is not worth fucking dying for.
It's okay, you're not worth killing.
He very quietly lets himself out. You hear sneakers, wet sneakers, run down a hallway.
I think to the armor. See, that wasn't so bad, was it?
Almost a huff, if you will. We have shit to do.
He is not the problem. And then I start looking for the problem.
All right. You start poking through these cameras. It takes you a few minutes to figure out the system.
I can tell you what I'm doing.
Sure.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the parking garage, the departures. I'm going to start looking for the guys that I beat the shit out of and their van.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to trace them as far back as I can in the system in a reasonable amount of time. I'm not going to be here forever.
Right.
Because I'm not leaving this floor. I came in at the top floor. I'm going to leave out of the top floor, but I'm going to learn everything I can here.
How long are you willing to commit to looking through the system?
Oh, that's such a hard question. I will... How patient am I? How patient is Aguila? I give myself 12 minutes.
All right. You begin searching. In those 12 minutes, you find 3 office trysts, 1 guy stealing reams of copy paper, and then going back to the beginning of the day, you find a very familiar-looking black SUV with no plates, and you find 4 individuals standing outside of it. 3 of the guys you recognize, and then 1 guy that you don't, wearing a suit.
I remind the Aguila this is your chance, and I allow it to enhance.
Okay.
That's who we want. I tap the screen. It's just heightened senses.
Heightened senses. Okay. With what detail you can get from the screen, which is fairly decent. You can get his general height, weight, build. You can tell that he's right-handed. You can tell that he does not smoke and that he is wealthy. His shoes and his suit say that. Of the 4 people standing next to that van, he is the only one standing in a pose that you would consider to be someone that you would watch in a room.
So I guess the last thing I will do then is I'll kind of zip around during their meeting without lingering on it too long.
Right.
And then I want to see him. I want to see where he comes from and either what car he gets into, what office he goes to, one of those things.
Okay. You back up tracing him. It takes you a few more minutes. And You see him back up and backwards, back into an elevator. He gets into the elevator. It goes to it. Basically, it's going up. So, he was coming down.
Mm-hmm.
It gets higher than the 35th floor, and then the camera cuts. And then you distantly hear yelling. You pause the video and you hear it again. Not in the video, you realize.
It's here. Where's the elevator?
The elevator, it looks like you poke your head out of the security room. You would have to go through one security door and probably around a corner to an elevator.
What floor am I on?
It looks like right now you are on the 9th floor. This is a multi-tiered building.
Okay.
You landed on one of the lower roofs,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of them above this are not roofs so much as spires.
Okay.
So I assumed you didn't want to land on a spire.
No. Okay. So what I will do then is I'll just point. I'll get the footage of whatever this floor is, and I'll start wiping it as I leave.
Okay. All right. So you basically just wipe everything you've been here and everything you were looking at.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Just as you finish, you hear a distant and an elevator door open. All right, man. You hear many sets of boot steps coming out of the elevator.
I have to look. I have to see them.
All right. You look out into the hallway, and you do it in such a way as you don't think they can see you. You just take a quick peek, and you see that it looks like there are 6. You wouldn't call these security guards, in as much as they look fairly well armed. Combat vests. You don't recognize the weapons that they're holding. They seem fairly large, and 2 of them have cables that plug into backpacks. Then a 7th guy gets out dragging an 8th guy. The 8th guy, it looks very familiar. You recognize Hanks is being drug out by his collar. He has his hands up. I'm sorry, man. Listen, they grabbed me. We're still cool, right? He's yelling distantly.
I will say from around the corner, yeah, Hanks, we're cool. And then I dive into the hallway. I can't let them take Hanks. Hanks played ball. He's just trying to get home.
That's what it looks like.
So we're going to go liberate Hanks. Fuck it.
All right, fuck it. You are going to go liberate Hanks. You roll out into the hallway to see, as I said, 6 with a 7th on the end who is not wearing combat armor. He's wearing a suit. It's not the guy from the video. Looks like somebody else, but this is Roxxon, so you assume that they probably have vats of guys in suits just waiting to do things. All 6 of the men are pointing weapons at you. You see 6 little red dots floating around on the chest of the Eagle's plate.
I will, how far, in spaces, how close are they to me?
5 spaces away from you.
I will roll my neck a bit.
Okay. You hear it crack, and the armor on the neck piece adjusts a little.
And then I screech. So it operates like a flashbang, no health damage.
Okay.
Compare the attack roll against the vigilance defense of any character within 2 spaces of it. So the range is, from me, 10 spaces.
All right. So they are more than inside of that.
Yeah. And those affected are blinded and stunned for 1 round.
All right. So you make your roll, sir.
So it's not a fantastic, it's a 6. So it's a 22.
The 2 panes of glass between you and the 6 people right now, as you stepped out, shatter, filling the hallway with chunks of broken glass. All 6 of them right now are recoiling and yelling. None of them are firing or wild firing, but they're all, you can definitely tell from what little combat experience you've had with pros that they are discombobulated for sure.
Okay.
The guy in the suit is hopeless. He's like yelling and covering his face, yelling to be heard, so he's adding to the cacophony, and it looks like Hanks has already broke camp.
Okay.
Like he's in the elevator hitting the button. All right, so they are stunned currently.
Blinded and stunned.
Blinded and stunned.
Well, deafened and stunned.
Right. Okay, so they can't receive any commands.
They cannot take any actions, and all attacks against them have edge, unless specified lasts for 1 round.
Okay, so well, they can't take any actions, so this actually it automatically rolls back around to you.
Good. So Hanks is banging on the elevator button, right? But it hasn't closed yet.
It is closing as you perform your action.
Good. And there's a dude at the back of the pack who's in a suit, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I'm going to blow past all the ones with the weapons and I'm going to grab that one and drive him to the back of the elevator as it closes.
Okay, so you're getting on the elevator with Hanks?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna dive into the elevator, grabbing the suited fellow.
Okay.
And pinning him against the far wall of the elevator.
Fantastic. So he lets out a pained groan as you feel something in his right shoulder give way. You don't know if it's broken or just dislocated. When he slams against the back of the elevator, you feel the whole car shudder. And Hanks lets out a small whimper. Oh, man, no offense, but I thought you were going to keep this shit out there, man. And he kind of curls up in the corner and presses the ground floor.
This fellow, I'm not done with. Just so you know, I rolled an 18 on the attack.
Oh, okay. What is the damage on that then?
It was just a grapple.
Okay, so you're not doing any damage on it. He has no defense on that. He's stuck. You have a rank 1 in a grapple.
Yeah, I'll lift him off his feet.
Easily done. The eagle lends more than enough strength to you to do that.
This guy doesn't look like the guy in the thing, right? In the
No, different haircut, different height, not even the same suit. Just another Roxxon drone trying to step on the necks of the people.
Then as we are going down, I'm going to ask this man a question. What happens past the 35th floor?
It's just the 36th floor up there. It's just the boardroom.
So it's an executive suite then?
Yeah.
And who are you?
He gets a really pained look on his face and a look of resignation. I'm an executive.
I will pull him away from the wall briefly,
mm-hmm.
just enough to slam him back against the back wall of the elevator.
Something in the other shoulder and possibly a rib both give way. His eyes go wide. You hear Hanks mumble something about sucking to suck.
Inside, Santos is cackling. He really is. And what were you going to do with Hanks?
I was just making him show us you where you were. He was running out on company property.
And you found me, executive. Now what? Are we on the ground floor?
Yeah.
Okay. I will turn around. I'm still holding him.
Yeah.
I turn around. Mm-hmm. Is there anybody out there?
The door opens. There is nobody in the lobby yet. Like as in there's not a security battery waiting for you. Hanks looks at the door. I'm going to just... He kind of points at it with finger guns and then slips out of it and literally sprints across the lobby to the door and leaves.
Okay. Goodbye, Hanks. Turn back to the executive and march him out to the lobby, letting his toes scrape against the tile floor.
Easily done.
What's your name, executive?
Timothy Richards.
Bad day to be you, Richards. Because you know things that I need to know.
You have him in hand. You hold him up face to face. And you are thinking of fun and interesting ways to extract information from him. And he can see it. Even through the lenses of the mask, he can assume his sweat begins to trickle down the sides and off his forehead. Inside your helmet, the HUD display comes up with incoming call. It's from a Marcos Tompkins.
Hold that thought. Hello?
Hey, listen, I didn't know who else to call. We don't really have a security or anything. But I'm a little worried, man.
Hurry up. What's up?
And you hear something behind him. You're in the distance, the sound of what can only be described as an explosion.
Where are you?
I'm still at the get-together place, man. There's something in the distance. It sounds like it's exploding and coming this way.
It's your lucky day, Richards. I throw Richards fastball into the elevator and take off.
You hear him hit the back wall, and he just slides down, leaving a red stain. You're pretty sure he ruptured something, or you're not even sure Richards is going to live through the injuries you just gave him.
I mean, I'm already out the door, so.
3 steps, and I assume you don't spare the glass on the building?
No.
Okay, you go right through it with ease, slice through it, and leaving a horrible mess, and leap into the night sky. The eagle inside of you gives the impression that it understood that hunt because you needed it, but it feels more like this is what it needs. And you feel your blood begin to quicken again. You head back towards the warehouses area that the group were meeting in. Not the best neighborhood area, but as you fly over, you see a ball of fire erupt from a nearby street corner. And it looks like it leaves a streak of fire on the ground behind it as it's traveling. And then something dark and large bounds twice and leaps after it. You don't know of many human things that move like that other than you.
I will take a beat to do a threat assessment. I will allow my senses to hone in on whatever I'm looking at to try to monster chasing a fireball is what I'm looking at right now. I need something.
You have come in under the situation. You see some sort of monster chasing this ball of fire. You do one tight circle so that you can get a very good overhead shot, and you see that the ball of fire is actually emanating from the shoulders of a person. The person is wearing a blackish leather jacket maybe, or maybe it's just covered in soot and blood. There's a chain wrapped around her arm that is also on fire. She's wearing, I believe, a pair of shorts and barefoot.
Huh. Well, that's something you don't see every day. What's the other thing?
The other thing looks to be about, you would say probably about 9.5 feet tall. It looks like if you stretched a person, you grabbed them by the top of their head and their feet and stretched them out like a Stretch Armstrong, and they stayed that way. It's very long and spindly, and it is almost insectile as it's coming towards her. And as you zoom in on its face, it has a roughly humanoid face, large cavities where the eyes should be, and a mouth that is far too wide that looks like it has rows of piranha-like teeth in it. And whatever it is, it looks like it is attacking this burning skull-headed person.
We had talked previously about some incidentals that might have occurred during my earlier night's hunting involving a creature called Killraven.
Mm-hmm.
Is this that creature?
This is not.
Okay, this is something else entirely. Okay.
This is something else. And it batted whatever that burning-headed woman is. It looks to your head what the internet says Ghost Rider looks like if you put the head on a fairly attractive young woman's body.
Huh.
And it looks like it has slammed her into a gas station.
Oh, that's not good.
No, especially because there are currently 2 cars in the gas station.
So as far as I know, the Ghost Rider isn't, I wouldn't say Ghost Rider's a hero, but Ghost Rider's a force of
generally
vengeance of sorts, right?
Yes.
Some sort of justice.
It's a simple request. You could probably have your HUD display. You could probably have the Eagle ask.
What do we know about Ghost Rider?
It brings up a very short synopsis. Seems to be a crime fighter, uses extremely dark methods to get what they want, and hates the guilty with a fiery passion. There are rumors that it is a demon, unconfirmed.
Then I will alter my trajectory to beeline for the Ghost Rider.
Okay.
Are they moving?
Ghost Rider is not moving currently. The thing is.
But it's still on fire.
Yes.
Okay, at a gas station.
Yes.
So I'm going to beeline for the Ghost Rider.
Okay.
And how fast does this thing move?
It's moving at a pretty good clip.
Okay. So I will try. I'm going to dive.
Okay.
I'm going to dive for the Ghost Rider and attempt to scoop her up.
All right. Give me an agility roll for that.
Sure.
That seems like an agility roll.
17.
You tuck your arms and the wings instinctively tuck themselves as well as you spiral into a dive.
Go, go, go!
And you fall. The wings only at the last second unfurl themselves again as you just get your hands under the arms of Ghost Rider and pick this body up off of the ground. You yank the woman into the air. The flames trail out behind you. It is hot, but it's not burning you, which is an odd sensation. Like, it is hot. It's fire hot, but the fire is actually not burning you. As you soar into the air, you're leaving this burning trail behind you. The creature leaps to the side of the building and then off of the gas station awning, Ninja Gaiden style.
Sure.
And comes within inches of grabbing your foot with its long, spindly finger claws.
Is there a building nearby the gas station?
Oh, yes. There's, looks like across the street, a shops in the bottom floor, and the top floor maybe was once an apartment. It's a 3-story brick.
Okay, I'm going to try to do like a bit of an aerial vault.
Okay.
And a kind of somersault onto one of these buildings to put the Ghost Rider down. I'm assuming that she's not conscious.
No, not currently.
I'll put her down, head propped against the concrete. Don't burn anything down. And then I will turn around because I'm sure this thing's coming.
In fact, by the time you turned around on this roof, you already see a hand climbing up over the top or reaching up over the top and to pull itself up as this deformed once human face breaches the top, it seems to almost elongate its neck somewhat to see you even better. These eyeless holes that you would swear are making a bizarre whistling sound, like air is rushing into them. It looks at you and says, "Another fine meal. You have been to other realms. We will enjoy devouring you." And it starts to scramble towards you.
Well, so instinctively, my opening is generally going to be a screech. So
Oh, absolutely.
I open up all the claws, brace the wings for battle position, and I will scream at this thing. What do I scream? I scream my own name. I imagine the eagle loves screaming the word Aguila at things as it deafens them. Yes.
Last thing that they hear then is it shrieking its name. So, what was your roll, sir?
It is a 17.
17. All right.
Oh, it's fantastic. That's a Marvel die. Cool. Okay, so that's the one.
So that is a fantastic result.
Yes.
All right. So that would I believe that causes a double up of the effect. On the fly, I'm going to say that in this case, you managed to truly stun it as it comes up over the top. You pretty much as it comes up at the top and regards you, you blast it full on in the face. And it seems like maybe the sonic attack is extra stunning. Maybe it's because this thing doesn't have eyes, or you're not sure what, but it seems to recoil pretty painfully from that screech.
All right, then. Then I would like to follow that up then, since it's stun Zord.
Alrighty, please do.
I would like to use, I'm going to spend 5 focus.
All right.
To activate Exploit.
Nice.
Character makes a melee attack against a target's resilience defense score. If it's a success, the damage ignores health damage reduction.
Excellent.
And on a fantastic, it suffers duffel damage and the weapon special.
Alrighty. Then please roll, sir.
How do I spend focus? All right. So we're going to swipe.
All right.
Not fantastic. That is however a 19.
Okay. You give it 2 or 3 good swipes with the claws. It seems to cut right through the leathery hide of whatever this...
It's 30 damage.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, whatever this thing's hide is made of, it seems to cut right through it. It definitely was stunned and then takes this horrible raking right across its face and chest area, I assume.
Oh yeah, we're going full on raving lunatic. Like I'm clawing all over this thing.
All right. Crazy claw face. All right.
We're dancing.
It curls up its hand and strikes out at you with a melee attack of 26.
Okay. So I would like to, as a reaction, activate slow motion dodge.
Very good.
So that the enemy has trouble on the attack.
Has trouble with the attack?
Yes.
All right. Making me re-roll one of my dice. So it's 21.
Okay. This is against my melee defense, right?
This is melee.
Yeah. So my defense score is a 16, so that will do its thing.
Okay.
So what I would, so just so that you know, I have sturdy 2, so whatever the multiplier is has to be reduced by 2.
By 2, you take 4.
All right.
It hits you hard enough that you feel it. You don't think it's going to leave a mark, but it definitely, you understand why it was capable of punching this Ghost Rider into a gas station. It definitely staggers you for a moment and slides your feet back. It then brings its hands out and extends both claws to you, almost as if to ready a challenge for you.
Then I will look inward. I'll say, come on, we can do better than this. And I would like to spend 5 or more focus.
Okay.
For Focused Fury.
Focused Fury.
So the character makes a close attack with an edge. For this attack, add +1 to the character's melee damage bonus for every 2 points of focus they spend. On a success, affected target takes total damage. On fantastic, they take double. So I'm going to spend 10 focus.
10 focus. All right. So that is a +5?
Yes.
All right. Please roll, sir. And this is both claws straight down?
Yeah.
All right.
So this is close attack with edge. How does edge work?
Edge is you re-roll one of your lower die, and then you keep the higher of the result.
I'm just trying to figure out how to do edge on this roller thing. Their damage reduction?
There is no damage reduction, it seems.
So that is... So this is +1 to the damage bonus.
Yes.
That's to the multiplier? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that is a 22 on the roll.
Okay. As you're hitting it, you're noticing burn marks all over it, and you're starting to hit those specific areas.
And then we'll roll this. 42.
42. Okay.
42. I give it the Super Saiyan claw.
You rend the front of this. It's barely a humanoid shape anymore. It's tatters. Now, what alarms you, however, is that howling, that drawing of air is also happening everywhere you wound it. And you're starting to feel the air rush past you. In fact, little bits off of the roof are starting to fly up and into the wounds.
Shit. Okay.
As it advances towards you, we will devour you. A 19 coming at you.
Hold on. Okay, so if this is a melee attack,
Hang on.
it's slow motion dodge. I don't know that it costs nothing. It's a reaction. And the trigger is an enemy makes an attack against my agility defense.
Yeah, and the enemy has trouble on the attack, so I have to re-roll one.
Yeah, okay.
So that is 9. So that is 18.
18 will still hit.
So he does hit you. 7.
Okay, and we double check something. Oh, so at the end of my turn,
Do you have regeneration?
I regain health equal to, I have healing factor.
Equal to your rank, I believe.
Health equal to my resilience.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yes. You can already feel the wounds that this thing has done to you knitting themselves back closed as that flapping and drawing sound, almost like one long gasp, continues to grow louder, almost into a howl. You see the flickering flames off of Ghost Rider start to be drawn into this whatever's inside of it.
This isn't going to work. We have to get it out of here. I am going to... Man, this sounds like such a bad idea. I have to grab this thing.
Okay.
I am going to attempt to initiate a grapple with this foul creature that wants nothing more than to get close to me.
It really does.
So I am going to embrace it willingly, I guess.
Okay.
But I'm going to try to control the embrace. So we're going to go for...
An attack grapple.
That's a 20.
That does hit.
All right, let's go. I grab onto this thing.
You grapple onto it, and it is currently, you are, I assume, hefting it into the air.
So I'm going to take my move,
All
and
right.
I'm going to leap into the air and start flying.
I assume this is an accelerated move.
I mean, it's whatever the movement is.
It was like 180, right?
Well, that's out of combat. So it's 18 in combat is what I get.
Okay, so 18. That's still pretty impressive. Okay.
18 squares, so 5 feet by 18. It's like 100, close to 100 feet.
How far away are you going to try to get into the air?
I'm taking it all the way. Like I'm using my full move distance. I have to get this thing away because it's trying to eat everything around it. So I figure if I keep it in dead space, if I take it up, right? So my plan is to take it up, and then you can let me know when I get my next action.
All right. Well, it's going to get one attack on you before you get it up high enough.
Okay.
Oh, but it does. It rolls what this game considers to be a failure.
Okay.
As it's adjusting and it's trying to strike at you, it loosens your grip somewhat, and now you basically have it by the wrists.
Okay.
You reach down with I assume, the foot clamps.
Well, so my plan was I'm taking it off. I'm taking it into the air.
Yeah.
So if I'm holding onto this thing with my next action, what I was going to do, so I have Mighty 3. So
Right.
I am treated three sizes bigger for lifting, carrying, swinging, and throwing things.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to throw this thing vertically.
Okay.
As far as I can.
All right. You get as fast as you can away from this building and heft this monstrosity into the air. It whistles past you, literally whistles past you, almost drawing you up with it, but you curl up and push, then push down with the wings to get away from it to distance. And it makes a whoomph behind you. And as you are flying down away from it, you find that you're having to give flying down more force than you've had before. Just for a second, but it definitely draws the air backwards past you. And you know that if it had gone on the rooftop, the whole probably top level of the roof would be gone.
So it's still in the air?
Oh no, with that pop, all you see is left is rags and tatters that float down behind you.
Oh, gross.
Some settling down, like not on you, but yeah, you definitely see them kind of like an old wet raincoat and a wig that have been thrown on the ground.
Then I will glide back down.
Okay. You glide back down and alight on the rooftop, look down to see this Ghost Rider? ? as you're looking down at this being. It doesn't seem to have regained consciousness yet. You think maybe this creature was drawing energy out of it somehow. In fact, now that you've taken a moment, you yourself actually feel a little drained.
Okay, you. Sorry, ma'am. I will. I'm going to grab the beak and just kind of roll the helmet back, and kind of force the claws to retract so I can get my hands. I need my hands.
All right.
And I'm going to delicately and modestly as possible pat her down for some sort of identification to see who this person is.
All right. And at that moment, she awakes. But we're going to leave that for the next time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us tonight. The ongoing Marvel RPG Anger Management. We hope to hear from you and to see you next time for the next issue, issue 4. I would like to thank all of our listeners, as well as our Patreon members. Especially thank you guys. Without you, none of this would be possible. Thank you and good night.